What the popos don't seem to realize is how difficult, well, time-consuming, but a labor of love that it is raising chickens and any animals, actually. This little girl, she has 11 babies. I'm TRISTA4PREZ. I'm running for Pima County Sheriff. Please sign my petition below, because these rogue elements in our society are terrorizing us. They're not carrying out their oath of service, which is to protect and serve. Instead, they're creating more suffering in the community. And that's why I'm running for sheriff, and also I'm running for president of the United States. Apparently he needs 500,000 votes. So if Elon Musk gives me that $22 million seed money that he said he was going to give to the sane candidate in this race, then everything should be peachy. I could get on the ballot with that $22 million. Okay, thank you, Uncle Elon. So here's my union address as presidential candidates. Hi, America. The union is in a state. Okay, I have to say that again more carefully without a stutter. Take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. Yeah, I'm nervous. Not really. But anyway, so the union is in a state now. There are lots of things we can do. And I'm sorry about the fact that this duopoly is trying to shove down all of our throats a choice between two old geezers, one who's a freaking lunatic, certifiably insane, and by the way, I'm the only presidential candidate who has been calling for him to undergo a court-ordered psychiatric evaluation, which he had his henchmen here in Tucson and the local law enforcement to rough me up again. It's not the first time that I've been literally assaulted and falsely arrested and incarcerated by these lawless police officers in America. Jeez, I spent half of my life in other countries, and I've never seen such a malevolent government. You know, especially since I've been back about 8 years. I spent like 25 years in other countries, and people always say, Trista, you know, if you feel like that, you know, they don't always say this. If you feel like that, why don't you go live abroad? Well, guess what? I would love to go back to living my wonderful life abroad that I was living. But anyway, the State of the Union, yeah, it's pretty terrible. And it's frustrating, I know. I can feel your pain, America, that the union is in a state, a big state, a mess of a state. And it's not fair. It's not fair that 80% of us, apparently, according to RFK Jr., I just covered his State of the Union address on my podcast, 80% of Americans don't want to have to choose between the lesser of two evils, and that's what it is. And like Ralph Nader, Uncle Ralph Nader, whom I interviewed, and I supported Noam Chomsky, who's another one of my pen pals. He also supported Ralph Nader, and you know, it's not a spoiler. It's called Healthy Competition, America. Okay, and it's not fair that we're having to choose. 80% of people don't want to have to choose between these two octogenarian imbeciles. All right? We need a woman candidate. We need a woman president. You know, and to all the Democrats out there, let me remind you that Brandon dragged us into illegal wars of aggression in Iraq and Afghanistan in the past. Not to mention his disastrous 1994 crime bill, which put untold numbers of the black community, black fam, behind bars. And now he's dragging us into ethnic cleansing, not in our name. That's what I'd say to Grandpa Brandon. Okay, Brandon, not in our name. All right? I object. And there's a lot of people who object in this country. A lot of the young people will not vote for you because you are carrying out genocide. And that makes you as much of a war criminal, President Biden, as Netanyahu. By the way, they're Zionists, extremists. And they're carrying out genocide. So what does it make you and what does it make us that you are dragging us into more wars of aggression? So that's another big reason we need a woman candidate. Another one is women have lost all of our bodily autonomy. I don't want to have kids. I don't have kids, but I will fight to the death your right to have kids when you want them. And no child should be forced to have a baby. That is just sick. It's twisted. And that's another thing. The right wing in this country is out of control. We need to tax the church because they are radicalizing their congregations. There's a lot to do, America. Okay? So I'm running, and I don't want your money. I just want to be on your ballot. So apparently, according to RFK's website, it takes 500,000 signatures to get on the ballot. So that's what I need. I'm going to have to figure that out. Okay? It's going to be a one-woman campaign. If anyone wants to be my campaign aide, great. Or a team of young people. These are the people that I'm reaching out right now, and I would love to do a cross-country tour in the spring to visit with young people, college Democrats. Tour college Democrats. Speak to all the college. Well, ones I would say just off the bat, I would love to go to Louisiana, New Orleans, okay, and Atlanta and Austin, which is the liberal part of Texas, apparently. I would love to start off maybe in my alma mater of Berkeley, and Pima Community College. I went to a community college where I became student body president, and through that experience, I found out that I can do a lot of good things. I can get a lot of shite done, basically, and people thrive. The whole community thrives. And when I left office, and I did concede to the incoming president, mind you, the our coffers as in student government were in the black. So I consider that an example of my proven, demonstrated efficacy as an administrator and leader. And quite frankly, I don't trust the government. I don't think anybody should at this point. They're malevolent, and you want me to provide proof? I will gladly provide proof. They're poisoning our air, food, and water supply. How's that for proof? Okay? GMO food should be banned. We need to get rid of all the lobbyists out of the FDA. They've been in there. They've been there for decades, since the Clinton administration. By the way, I worked at the President's Interagency Council on Women at the U.S. State Department in Washington, D.C. I was administrator and project manager and administrative assistant, admin assistant in management policy and planning, which is very prestigious, apparently. And award-winning journalist, Oxford scholar, I'm women's psychology tutor. I was at Oxford University. They invited me. Thank you. I accept. And I was a commissioner on the Alameda County Commission on Status of Women. I covered the Beijing +5 UN conference in New York for California Women's Agenda, where I spoke to groups of conferences of women's leadership, and taught them how to make their own online presence. Anyway, so I've been into a war zone. I studied abroad at the same place where Jackie Kennedy studied, in Grenoble, at the Université de Grenoble. I speak several languages. We need that in a president instead of these people who are immigrants phobic. This is a